Hi, everybody. I'm Robin, and these are my reflections. And today we're going to take a look at Grim Tales Tarot by Fiona Edgewood. This is a new release from Llewellyn. It is one of the ones that has come in the tarot size box. In the past, Llewellyn's boxes have been larger, and recently, over the last year or two, they've been changing the sizes. We're still getting some decks in the larger boxes, some are coming in smaller boxes, and this one and one other one that I have, I think it was called Forest Cats Tarot, which I did do a walkthrough of, that came in the box that was tarot size. So this is the size of the cards, and the book inside is also the size of the cards, which is very different for Llewellyn. But I think going forward, we're probably going to get more of these. So it does have some spot gloss on it. Very lovely, lovely, beautiful, and moody box. Look at that. Opens all the way out like that. And we still get the ribbon, but you really don't need it because of the hole here. You can put your finger in and get the cards out, but you still get the ribbon. That's the bottom. It's a whole beautiful mood. It's a gorgeous box. They always have gorgeous boxes. The cards are a smooth matte um, with an olive green edge. Very pretty and perfect for the theme. And then the guidebook. So the pages are glossy. In the front, you have about the author, a note from the author, the table of contents, and then it gets into the introduction. It says it's common knowledge that the brothers Grimm were storytellers, but what few know is the brothers weren't just interested in folk stories and fables. The pair were among the world's most fevered purveyors of magical knowledge. It is rumored the brothers descended from a long line of midwives and witches on their maternal side, which ignited a flame of curiosity the brothers found impossible to extinguish. That curiosity was focused, more often than not, on the stories, teachings, and lessons of soulcraft. Some of it, witchcraft, some of it, high fae art. Most wisdom teachers simply referred to the knowledge as the old ways. But no matter the name, their pursuit was for a wisdom and self healing craft unsanctioned by Calvinist and Catholic 18th century Europe. Relegated to the dark side and viewed as the devil's handiwork, witch wisdom was a closely guarded secret. Magical knowledge was banished at best, burned at worst. Those who did record their teaching did so in private and often kept the tome, known as a grimoire, buried until such time as it was needed. And then, when the brothers' quest unearthed a dusty deck of cards hidden at the bottom of a barren well, they told no one. Not until many years later, as they collated the numerous stories collected on their journeys, did they realize the cards were connected to the tales. Though the brothers never learned to use the cards, they remained fascinated with the symbols contained in them. The cards were clearly connected to the heroes and heroines that appeared over and over again in tales told by the hearth, around dinner tables, in high court, at the edge of the night, over a pint in the pub. Unlike the stories which have one beginning and only one ending, the cards themselves seem to be characters able to lead multiple lives and tell individual stories depending on the way they were shuffled, then laid on the table. It is believed that the brothers kept the cards close while pursuing their tales, collected and recorded their findings. And after the brothers shaped their discoveries into story form, folks began referring to them as fairy stories or fairy tales, since they brought to mind the ancient race who roamed the earth long before humans. The cards, however, remained unknown and unnamed. There is no record of what happened to the cards after the elder brother died in 1863, but eventually they wound up a small book at a small book auction in southern Germany, where my great grandmother Tilda was attending university, and a smitten professor purchased a relatively obscure version of the brothers' children's and household tales. The story goes that the auction house shipped the book to said smitten professor, who was wrapped the parcel in velvet cloth and gifted it to Tilda. When unwrapped, the box contained both the book and a tiny wooden box of 78 cards. When queried, no one at the auction house could explain what they were or how they got in the shipment. Tilda kept them. While this deck isn't directly related to any particular tale the brothers released publicly, it contains the characters who's populated the once upon a time land where magic was possible. Witches were healers and waymakers, dragons were guides, the devil was your own fear, hiding in your unconscious shadow material, and dreams were winged, carrying any soul through time and space when one dared to ride. The deck you hold in your hands is as close to you as you can get to the brothers' original cards found at the bottom of a long lost well. The images, symbols, and envisionments you will discover within this deck have been married with the traditional tarot format and rendered fresh by my own hand. When used with your intuition, they create one of a kind fairy tales full of magical knowledge, instructing your life in the ways of magic. They have the power to guide your life path as you shape your real world, real experience, real life fairy tale. So then there's some information on how to use the deck, getting started, there's some spreads, and then for the write-ups. So then as you get into the write-ups for the cards, you get the full image of the card size image, because it's the size of the book, and then some key words and key phrases to go along with what your the energy of the card is, and that's for every card. So we start with the full. One thing that I really love about this is the texture that they've achieved with this layering of these words. I can't read the words, but I'm assuming that they're part of the tales, maybe even the part of the tales that might go along with the story. I'm just going to imagine that for myself because I can't read these words, but I think that would be really cool if they've layered that in there. So we start with our fool. She's here on the staircase, um, coming out of this house in the trees or heading up to the house in the trees. It looks like she's leaving. So maybe she's been sequestered up here and now she's taking a chance to venture out into the world away from this place that has been secluded. Under the light of the full moon, she meets our magician with his bat wings. And then, of course, he's also an alchemist. Of course, we love that for him. The high priestess with her mask and her pomegranate and her snake, giving very Lilith energy. The Empress has a rabbit hat, which, is perfect. The chicken, the rabbit, all of these things that represent abundance. Because you don't have any green here, there's no verdancy happening, but I definitely see things that represent abundance. I also see the stars in the sky for the crown. I'm not going to count them right now. I'm just going to assume there's 12 of them. So the Emperor, he reminds me of like a Cheshire cat, but without the funny. He is more serious and watching over this space, this garden, this world. And he fades in and out of consciousness, but definitely is going to show up when things need to be controlled a little bit more. There's a door here. And this is, with this rabbit, I'm not sure if we're getting that Alice in Wonderland vibe where, we're going to this door. And I'm just getting Cheshire Cat vibes, but serious Cheshire Cat, not like smiley Cheshire Cat. Oh, stay still. Now, I know for a fact that Alice in Wonderland is not a grim tale, and I'm pretty sure that neither is Pinocchio. But for some reason, these stories are coming to mind when I see these pictures. So here's our Hierophant. And I'm trying to say he reminds me of like Jiminy Cricket, but I think he's meant to be a grasshopper or she. This is really serene and quiet, and it feels like, as opposed to the divine, the divinity in the card feeling detached from what's happening on the card, it's actually engaged with the person. It's touching her, whispering in her ear, kissing her on her cheek. I like that about this Lovers card. The Chariot, definitely giving fairy vibes. The Strength, we're howling at the moon. Ooh, very nice. With these red flowers. The Hermit, the Baba Yaga house, right? The smoky um, look of this is really cool. Wheel of Fortune, Justice. Hanged Man is a bat. Death. We have Venus flytraps. One has a tongue. That's interesting. Temperance. So it looks like an old. No, I feel like I know this story. I feel like I know some of these stories, like I've read them and forgot them. But let's see if there's anything here that will help me understand or bring the story to mind. So it says balance, a tempered space balancing inner and outer worlds, ability to adapt, divine flow, healing energies, harmony born from patience and trust, and the slow alchemy of change. The calm in the eye of the storm, the slow unfolding. Temperance invites us to integrate opposites, light and shadow, work and rest, grief and joy, into wholeness. The appearance of grace, it asks for moderation and for the steady tending of the middle way. When this card appears, it reminds you that transformation is not rushed, it is brewed slowly with nurturing. This is the embodiment of patience. True magic, it whispers, comes from surrendering to the sacred rhythm of becoming. Well, it definitely gives a story to this image, doesn't it? Um, all right, so devil. When I see this, I'm thinking Rumpelstiltskin. Do you remember that story? Oh my goodness, I haven't thought about it in forever, but with the firstborn child. Um, so we have the tower, the star, the moon, and let's see what we get for the sun. Yeah, I like it when they kind of match up. The three, that's fun. And moon, that's fun. Judgment. So I don't see any other beings in this picture, just this being with the horn and the bats. So that's interesting. And she's looking kind of off to the side, so that could be interesting in a reading as well. Where is she judging? What is she judging? The world? Is she judging the sun? What is she looking at? The world. The head is floating in space almost. Interesting. And the words are being sucked up here. All these planets. It's very celestial, but also very grounded. And then this is kind of giving. This is really interesting because I see a lot of symbolism for a lot of different cards in this, right? Because you have almost like this veil, then it's red. So I've got High Priestess, Emperor. This celestial energy, is bringing in the celestials. The mountains in the background are making me think about the Hermit. So there's so much. It's like it's all come together here. The trees could be Empress. Um, it's all come together here in the culmination of this card. Like they layered all of it. It's so interesting. Ace of Cups, poison. What a beautiful poison bottle. Ooh, Two of Cups. That's pretty too. Roses. Three of Cups. Squid. The Four of Cups. Okay. So we have skeletons and underwater animals. Five of Cups. Oh, we have a ghost here for the grieving. I thought that there was a cat up here in the tree, but I think it's just a branch of the tree with the sky shining behind it. Ooh, look at this, Six of Cups. Very cute. That's cute. Seven of Cups. What an interesting way to represent the still contemplation of the Seven of Cups. Um, with cats in the tree, watching her as she is looking out of the window, trying to decide, and the sun is coming up or it's setting, one or the other. Whether the sun is rising or setting, there's an indication that that time is running out here. So I think that that's cool. Eight of Cups is giving Dracula vibes right here. The Nine of Cups. And I'm thinking to myself, some of these stories that I see in my mind are more contemporary than the Grimm brothers stories would be. So I'm wondering if that is the influence of the author, because she said that this is reimagined. So it wouldn't have been the deck that they carried, but it will be reimagined in her own way. So it's a deck that lives in the world of the Brothers Grimm, but also kind of crosses into more our world as well, maybe. But then again, I'm not really a scholar of like literature, so I don't know the time periods of all of these things. Like, I don't know if maybe they were contemporaries, the guy who wrote Alice in Wonderland and the Brothers Grimm. I don't think so, but I'm not certain. I should look that. Let me look it up. Okay, I googled it, and they did live around the same time. Although Lewis Carroll, who wrote Alice in Wonderland, um, lived a little later, but he would have known those Grimm stories. So it could maybe be why I'm seeing this crossover. Queen of Cups, King of Cups. I don't know. That's making me think about Peter Pan, you know? I'm not going to stop and Google that either. Okay, Ace of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles. That's our box cover, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Was it the book cover? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's the book cover, not the box cover. Three of Pentacles. Ooh, they're creepy. I don't like creepy children. Four of Pentacles. Five. Oh, I like this card. It's really beautiful too, the way that she it looks like she collaged in some pictures of actual trees back here and then layered it with um, this like digital color. Kind of cool looking. I'm not really. It's hard to see because it's so small. The card is so small. I have to. I don't know. I can't tell, but that's what it looks like to me. The Six of Pentacles. You know, to be honest, I'm not sure I would want these balloons if she was giving them away. Seven of Pentacles. Surveying her property with her little rabbit familiar. Very cool. Eight of Pentacles. A nine. And ooh, look at the 10. So we're doing crystal gazing and then mediumship over here with a spirit board. Interesting. That's an interesting progression. I like that. There's Pinocchio. Page. The Knight. The Queen. And her King. I was just watching 911. Do you guys watch that show? So random. My brain just goes all over the place. But it was a Halloween episode, and one of the guys was the headless horseman. He couldn't see anything, ended up hitting somebody. It was crazy. So Ace of Swords is the rabbit with the sword. Two of Swords. This looks like a baby Edward Scissorhands. The Three of Swords. Very cool. Stitched back together. Looks like they've been through quite a few breaks and been dropped on the floor a few times and then glued back together, stitched back together. Their heart, their head, everything. I love this. They're making it work though. They're still keeping on, right? Four of Swords. This is a second girl in this deck that has reminded me of that show Wednesday. This one is in a coffin. The Five of Swords. I want to get the Wednesday Oracle. Maybe I can use them together. I know this dog. I know this story. I can't think of it right now, but I know this story with this three-headed dog. The Six of Swords. This is Snow White with rabbits instead of little people. Seven of Swords. The Eight of Swords. The Nine of Swords. And the Ten of Swords. Let's pop it. Page of Swords. The Knight. Riding a big bee. This reminds me of Bunny I Shrunk the Kids. The Queen of Swords. Ooh, she's cool. This falcon lady, bird woman situation going on here. And the King. The dragon. Or friend of a dragon. Is he the dragon that turns into a human? Is he a shapeshifter or does he just have a dragon friend? I'm not sure. Ace of Swords. Love that. Ace of Wands. I'm sorry. This is very cool. Two of Wands. This is really cool too. With the two candles. There's no candle in this one. Three of Wands. Ooh, it's the Grim Reaper. Interesting. Four of Wands. The Five. Looks like he belongs in some kind of wizarding story, right? The Six of Wands. That's the cover of the box, right? No, it's not the same. It's similar, but not the same. Did we see? Is it the same? This is similar, but it looks like they've changed her face. Seven of Wands. Got her wand there. She's ready to defend herself against these dandelions. Eight of Wands. We have a flying monkey. Very cool. Wizard of Oz reference there. Nine of Wands. And the Ten of Wands. The Page. The Knight. The Queen is a unicorn. Isn't that interesting? Holding a little baby bird skeleton with a female body and arm, unicorn head. Very interesting. Unicorns. Do we see unicorns as fire? And the King is a little mouse. All right, so we have the Mouse King as the King of Wands standing on his cheese. So like I said earlier, they have like this smoky olive green edge and the cards are matte. And the thickness is good. It's a good thickness. Nice and bouncy. They feel good. Actually, they feel nice and heavy and bouncy. And then the size for Llewellyn is a little bit smaller than a normal tarot size card. So you can see if this is a normal tarot size card, they're the same width, but just a little shorter. And up against an oracle, this is the Blue Angel oracle card. So let's see how they shuffle. Yeah, I mean, it's given that perfect Llewellyn shuffle. If you like Llewellyn cards, yeah, it feels like a Llewellyn deck, but just with matte coating um, instead of the gloss that they have been using in the past. So yeah, it feels normal, just like a Llewellyn shuffle. All right, so I got the Hanged Man. So let's read for the Hanged Man. Oh, look at the little mouse king. He's so cute. If you'd like to read that for yourself, you can take a screenshot. It says, the sacred pause, a surrender, not always voluntary, that ushers in transformation. Suspended upside down, the hanged man sees the world from a new, radical perspective, ceding control to gain deeper wisdom. Constraint, suspension, the feeling of getting caught in a web, can indicate inertia. The hanged man teaches that growth often requires letting go of expectations, ego, or old patterns. This stillness is not defeat, it is an act of profound trust in the unseen. When this card appears, it invites presence, surrender, and a shift in perspective. Sometimes the only way forward is to stop striving, to hang in the unknown, and to let a new vision emerge. Okay, so let's read a minor because I feel like um, I've read a couple of majors already. So let's read a minor. So if you'd like to read that one for yourself, it says enthusiastic beginnings, powerful potential, passionate creativity, the alignment of vision and action, the decision to rise to the challenge, the spark of raw inspiration, the first breath of bold new beginning. This ace represents the powerful urge to act. Like a match stuck in the dark, it signals a time when energy surges forward, asking you to trust your instincts and seize the moment. This card invites you to follow your excitement, to plant the seed of a dream, and to fill your lungs with yes. When the Ace of Wands appears, it whispers, life is offering you a fire. Will you dare to build it into something magnificent that roars to life? I was looking down here and I was wondering if this was some sort of flame or match, but I don't think it is. I don't see any fire in this picture, but still kind of cool. So it's like you're stuck. Are you going to get down from here? You're going to get down from there and get going or not? So my first impressions of this is that it's beautifully illustrated and moody and interesting. And I think for anybody who likes 19th century, yeah, Gothic tales, Victorian Gothic literature, fairy tales, and things like that, this could be a fun adventure for your readings. It could be great to use for characterization, writing, or just storytelling style reading. So I could definitely find many ways, many ways to read with this outside of even just like a Halloween season read. You know what I mean? I'm sitting here thinking, what kind of decks could I pair this with? I know I have the vampire deck, and I'm thinking, what other Gothic style grimy decks do I have? Let me see what I got. I think I put a lot of them away after Halloween, but let me see what I still have out. So I found a couple of decks. I found this Crow Oracle and a few other things that weren't put away. So we should be able to do it. I'm not sure where my mini of this is. I think this is my old G Crow Oracle. I'm not sure if you can still buy it in the full size like this, but I know you can still get it. I thought you could still get it in a mini, but I can't find my mini, so I'm showing the big one. You can also still buy this from Hay House in a full size, it has different borders, but it's the same deck. This one has the expansion pack in it. So we have the Devil with the Four of Swords and Battle. The Emperor with betrayal and the star. Death and the King of Swords and bond. The Page of Swords with cashing and the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, these look great. And there were so many crows and birds in the tarot that I thought, yeah, this should be a good mashup. And they are. So that works for me. Communication. The Ace of Wands and the Hermit. Yeah, I like this. So that is the Crow Oracle by MJ Cullinane. This is a deck. It's called Madame Endora's Fortune cards. It's a little fortune telling deck. I love fortune telling decks, y'all. I thought maybe it's a little bit gothic. It's a little gaudy, but we'll see. So here we go. Medusa. Jealousy leads to downfall with the Wheel of Fortune and the Empress. You will receive news from afar with the Ten of Swords and the Four of Pentacles. Passion and romance await with the Ace of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, this is not bad. Because it is, like, it does have that sort of gothic look to it, but it's just like a more 90s kind of gothic than this new age digital gothic, you know. But it'll do. It'll do for sure. So that is Madame Endora's, what is this thing called? Madame Endora's Fortune cards. It's a great deck. If you don't have it and you like fortune telling decks, you should definitely consider it because it's a really great reader. Another little fortune telling deck I have here is the Witch's Familiar Runic Oracle by Athene Arcana. This one is from Hay House. I will see how this one might. Oh, it's all warpy. That's okay. Okay, so we have Pethro. I need the book because I never can remember the runes. Hang on. So this is Good Omen, Fate, the Unknown, Initiation, and the Cult with the King of Pentacles and the Five of Wands. I'm not going to look all of these up. Let's just look at the images and see how they do. Not sure about this one. I guess it would probably look more like this anyway if I pulled them. So maybe, yeah, like that is not so bad, right? Yeah, I could see myself using these together too. So that is the which is familiar. So it's the runic oracle. So you've got the familiars and the runes on the cards. If I wanted to pull that in, I thought we could try the haunts oracle with it, just because I actually just put this deck away yesterday, and now I'm pulling it back out to try it with this. But I want to see if maybe if it's not too bad, I definitely see this deck being used in conjunction with this type of reading, which these cards are meant to be used to discern fear in a reading or discomfort, something that's out of place or disjointed, something that's turned upside down on its head, that kind of stuff. So I thought if they can go together, maybe this could be a deck that might support this type of reading. Yeah, I'm not hating it. So we have the Empress with the Devil and secrecy and closeting. Nine of Cups and the Lovers with boots and talismans, magic potions. discipline and fear tactics with the Wheel of Fortune and the Page of Pentacles. Furnaces, heat, pressure with the Five of Swords and the Star. No, I don't know. I don't know about this one. I don't know. Like aesthetically, I'm not hating it, but energetically, I'm not sure. I'll have to try it and see. But in the moment, I think there were others I liked better. So that is the Haunts Oracle. Definitely got to try it with this Alice, this little Alice deck. I have to because I kept seeing so much Alice stuff, but I don't know. This one might be a little too cartoony. We'll see. We'll see. Becoming braver with the Hierophant and Death. Messages for a rabbit with the Three of Swords and Justice. Okay, so see, here's the deal. This one has so many different types of paintings in it that I just don't know. Like this painting, I don't mind with it. But some of the others, maybe not. And it like this is not too bad, but that one I think is too much. So I don't know. Aesthetically, I'm not sure. Let me see. Page of Wands with Investigate. Page of Swords with Investigate and the Six of Cups. So I could definitely see the readings being fine. It's just like if I get a card like this, it might feel a little much. Or one like this, they feel a little out of place. Even though we still have like the sort of Gothic tilted head, pale faced girl. It's just a different vibe, Let me try something else. And that one might even be, the other one I'm thinking about might also be too much, but we'll see. Might as well try it while I'm sitting here. Okay, so I didn't find the deck I was looking for, which was Oracle of Daydreams and Moonbeams, but I did pull this one off the shelf. I think I might have put Oracle of Daydreams and Moonbeams away for the season, but let's see this one. This is Oracle of the Rewilding, in case I didn't say. I think I might have saw Carrie over at Carrie's Mystical Musings Parodies, maybe? Question mark? I can't remember. Let me see. Three of Wands with Trust and the Chariot. The Sun and Temperance with Affinity. Compassion with the Two of Pentacles and the King of Cups. I could see these together, and I think, see, my thing with this deck is that it's all about the guidebook. So I would want to pull this card, read the guidebook, and then use these cards to dive a little further. But aesthetically, they're fine. But until I can get into the guidebook, I wouldn't be able to tell if I would like this with this or not. Aesthetically, they look great. So there's that. That's Oracle of the Rewilding. Okay, last but not least, Antiquities of Magic, which is like my go-to for literally everything. This time of year, I love this deck, and anytime I'm looking for something to pair with anything, I'm pulling this one out, and it pretty much goes with everything. So let's see if it goes with this one. I love this little deck. Okay, Six of Wands. Oh, we saw the Six of Wands and the Five of Cups, so let's pull those out. Right, so we have the Hermit with the Ten of Wands and Inner Growth. Seven of Wands, Knight of Wands, and Potential. Three of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, and Loyalty. And that's interesting because normally on a Ten of Pentacles, we would see a dog. And that's probably because this is a deck of RWS symbolism. So that's probably where she pulled, well, maybe from the full card as well. But yeah, I think it's interesting that that's not there. Okay, so we have the Fool, I mean, that came up together. The Fool with Balance and the Two of Wands. And then one more. the Nine of Wands with the Page of Wands and action. So yeah, that's great. Love it. It's my go-to oracle. I love this little deck. Goes with everything. And just really quickly to see if I can soften it a little bit, I wanted to try it with this one. This is the Cottage Witch Oracle from Krista over at Krista Chronicles. Wait, we have the King of Wands. Oh, we saw these two. I don't have many cards left, so we'll try them. Poison Ivy, Discomfort with Judgment, and the Ace of Swords. The Knight of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles with Pathway. Okay. It does soften it, doesn't it? And it brings out the cuter elements in this deck, which is nice. The King of Pentacles with the Six of Swords and Substitute. And let's just try one more. Do we have another card? I ran out. Here, let's put this over here. The Tower and the Magician with Consistency. Not bad. I mean, I could see it. I could see it. Yeah, I'm not mad at this, to be honest. And I do think it softens it a little bit. I mean, these are some of the harsher cards, but if we just did something like that, yeah, I could see that. So I could see myself using those as like a quick reader for everyday pull. All right, so that is those are my pairings that I wanted to try, and that's it. Those are my thoughts on the Grim Tales Tarot. So let me know what you think about this deck in the comments below. Have you picked it up? Have you been using it? How is it reading for you? What are you using it with? How are you liking the guidebook, the cardstock, the box? Tell me all the things in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up or a hype. If you want to see more from me, you can subscribe. I release videos every few days regarding tarot and oracle, and I would love to have you here with me. I will put links in the description box below where you can pick up this deck and anything else that you've seen here today. And until I see you next time, stay safe and be blessed. Bye-bye.